is registered dietitian Nishta Saxena. Hey, Nishta, how's it going?
Excellent.
Nishta, I love it when you're here. I learned so much. I'm always thrilled to talk to you.
Amazing. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yes. Okay, so today we've actually partnered up with Jamieson to talk about multivitamins.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, multivitamins are something that when you're deciding whether you need one or not, there's a lot of factors to consider. It could be things like your age, health conditions, medications, etc. I mean, most people do well with a very well-balanced diet, but there are definitely 3 specific groups we're going to talk about today that can benefit from a multivitamin. Older adults, that's adults over 50, pregnant women and those who are hoping to get pregnant, and then those who follow a plant-based diet, vegetarians and vegans.
Okay.
So, you know, going into the winter season and with produce changing, you know, here in Canada, we want to make sure that we're getting our nutrients, and this is where supplements could really play a great role.
Okay, fantastic. Well, let's start off with multivitamins for older adults.
So older adults, those in 50 plus, you know, there's lots of reasons why we may not be getting what we need in our bodies. So things like poor absorption, because absorption changes over time as we're aging. Things like small meals or, you know, not planning meals well, ultra-processed food. As well, if you're managing other conditions, you know, that can be a real barrier. And if you're doing caregiving, so all of these things can impact the nutrients that we need and whether our bodies are getting them. So as an example, some of the nutrients older adults really need to focus specifically on are things like vitamin B12. So as our stomach acid may change, as we're aging, that's something that we know can cause a decrease in absorption of vitamin B12. Even things like vitamin D and calcium, which are so important for bone health, skeletal health, muscle health, we're not getting enough of that. And magnesium and zinc as well. We need those for metabolic function. We need those trace minerals. So these are things that we're seeing older adults that they're not getting enough from their diet. And what was interesting is we even have a study that showed older women in terms of calcium, when focused on diet alone, they're kind of not meeting the adequacy. It sits around 5 to 8%. But when we add in a supplement, we kind of boost that up to 35%. Which is a really, it's a really great kind of sign that filling in the gaps with a supplement like this could be really helpful.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what about for people, you mentioned vegetarians and vegans?
So, I mean, definitely when you're following a plant-based diet or if you're exclusively 100% plant-based, we know that you're getting lots of fiber, you're getting antioxidants, beautiful phytochemicals, but oftentimes you're missing some of these essential nutrients. So I always recommend supplementation if you're following a plant-based diet. So those nutrients, again, we're looking at things like B12. This primarily comes from animal sources, although there's some vegetarian sources, but we always want a B12 supplement. Iron as well, heme-based iron, which is more easily absorbed into the body. That's going to, again, come from those animal foods. Some of the trace minerals, things like magnesium and zinc, again, vitamin and calcium, vitamin D and calcium, a lot of our plant-based eaters are not getting that. And essential fatty acids, so EPA and DHA coming from fatty fish, we're going to be missing those in those plant-forward diets. So what we know is we want to make sure that people who are following a plant-based diet are actually getting what they need, because we're seeing that up to 35% of people in that plant-based category are not actually getting folic acid, B6, vitamin C, they're not getting what they need there. And then even over 35% of people are not getting the vitamin D they need, magnesium, zinc, and even vitamin A. So again, we're seeing where something like a broad-spectrum multivitamin is going to be able to help fill those gaps.
I love that. That's fantastic. Definitely for someone with, again, more of a restricted diet.
Absolutely.
Okay, now finally, we know vitamins or multivitamins are key for people who are pregnant or are looking to become pregnant.
This is absolutely a hands-down must-do, because if you are actually pregnant, your actual nutrient needs increase. You actually need more nutrients.
You've got 4 lungs in you, at least.
That's a lot of lungs.
That's a lot,
It's a lot of lungs. There's a lot of body parts.
A lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on. So you want to make sure you're nourishing those for sure. And then if you're actually planning on being pregnant, there's some other key nutrients that you really want to make sure you focus on. And so that in particular is folic acid. This is so important if you're planning to be pregnant or if you are pregnant. We need to have that on board to help with preventing neural tube defects. Obviously, iron, again, so important for women in general, but as your maternal blood increases, you know, we can see an iron dilution that happens, and it's so important for fetal development. And then things like vitamin D and calcium, again, vitamin D and calcium are so crucial for developing that baby's, you know, skeleton and for mom as well. So all of these different things, essential fats as well, are important in this particular group of women. And what we have seen is, you know, Health Canada, we have a recommendation that women who are planning to be pregnant need at least 400 milligrams of folic acid. Every single day. And we want that to be on board before conception. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're taking something regularly regularly
Yeah.
because, you know, that can be something that's unpredictable. And then in terms of those women who, you know, when you're pregnant, your diet can sometimes change.
Yeah.
And so maternal diet, if it's not great,
Yeah.
we're seeing that multivitamin supplementation can actually help with neurodevelopment and improve the development of the fetus. So this is just so important.
Fantastic, Nishta. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.